I
Well,
saw a post that someone posted. It was a Christian post, and it said like the greatest thing you can do is love God, get married, stay married, have children, and it's just like that's not the greatest thing you can
yeah,
do, but that is the message that was pushed
yeah,
at us, not just from Christianity. Society was kind of
yeah.
pushing that too. And now society's shifting. The church will have to shift because it always is behind, but it will follow.
Hello, I'm Dan,
And I'm Can.
and this is the Dan and Can podcast. Welcome back. And for you new people, welcome. We appreciate you showing up today. And do we have a special one for you today? We're going to get more societal today. Not so much, there'll be some religious connotation to it. We'll be, you know us, we'll be able to tie it into religion somehow, but we're going to deal with some culture and culture changes. Are you up for it?
Sure.
Are you up for it? Well, buckle on up because we're going to explore some new things in the world today. See what is happening and going on and how we can fight some things. So let's get a little going here. Candy, how do you feel about AI as we start talking about culture before we get into some videos?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
I've got mixed feelings on it.
Well,
I think there's a purpose for it. I think there's places where it could work really well. Sorry, I know this is a technical question, but when you were talking, I don't think it was moving that much.
Oh, it was. See?
Oh, your voice is just so
Yeah,
low.
it doesn't pick up well.
Okay.
You
Anyways.
can't go by the register on there.
All right. I think AI has, I think it could do phenomenal help, work, like in the medical field where there's so many symptoms of things. It can pick up these patterns, right? Like, this might, I think it could help there. I think there's other places it could help, but I don't like some of the things I see where it's messing with arts.
Oh, very good. I like where you're going there.
I also don't like that these data centers take up so much from the environment.
Yeah.
It can be really, really hard on the environment.
Yeah, a lot of the water and everything being used.
And I think in some ways it makes people's thinking lazy. So there's some to that where they're just like, oh, I'll just ask AI or ChatGPT or whatever. I don't know. I don't know enough. I just have mixed feelings about it.
So we'll dive into some of what you addressed there here in a little bit. But what do you feel about social media? YouTube, TikTok, Instagram?
Same thing, mixed feelings about it. I think it does a lot of good. And I think all of these things do some good and they do some bad.
Okay.
So I think social media helps people connect, but it also can drive wedges between people.
Yeah. So we'll dive into both of these things a little bit today.
All right.
You ready for this conversation? All right, let's go. Well, before we get to the first video, so you mentioned art and AI, and I think everyone's seen some of the art that is AI created. So the pictures and shows and whatnot where, thank you, we're on the air. This is how you know we're not AI. Because we
AI would remember every time.
So with all the stuff that it's putting out, people can kind of, especially the earlier versions, there'd be a picture and then look what whoever it was, look what this senator's doing. And you'd be like, wait a minute. The senator has 3 feet and 12 fingers on one hand.
Or like when my brother posted a video on social media that it looked like Jesus in the background. These 2 people eating pizza or something. It was so weird. And I said, it's AI. And he's like, well, it's still cool though. And I'm like, it's actually not cool once you realize what it is. Like, that's not like it'd be cool if it just happened chance. Someone took a photograph and it looked like that. But when it's been orchestrated by a machine just trying to make, that's not cool anymore.
Stare at the pepperoni pizza and blur your vision. What do you see? And it's Jesus's face that comes out. It's like, okay, stop. But then you get into some of the other stuff where it's creator content also. So it's not just like the visual art But you get into
Writing
and music and all this.
Oh, yeah.
Where, you have the "We Are Charlie Kirk."
Was that AI made?
Yeah, that was an AI music the song made.
I think I remember hearing that.
And
Yeah.
there's been songs that have been hitting the charts, and people like it. And what's happening is AI is just taking the basic formulas for music, and we used to listen
that
to,
humans have created.
Yeah, we used to listen to this podcast called Bad Christians. It was the band Emery, their members,
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
got together and they had a podcast talking about how basically
Gosh, that was early deconstruction years.
And when you started listening to them, you just saw their deconstruction go through the podcast.
You saw it happening.
So they started questioning, and then at one point, about halfway through their show, they were like, "I don't know what the fuck I believe anymore."
I mean, that's the journey.
And then they went to a point where they just decided we were not going to do the religious thing anymore. We're going straight to music.
But they had built their platform for, Bad Christian was the name of it. So people were listening who were kind of coming out. So that just kind of goes to show you when you're creating something, you build it. And if you switch, which you can, you have that prerogative to do that. But you'll lose a lot of people because they just can't go there with you.
Out.
Yeah.
But that's where their passion was. They didn't want to keep talking about it. They needed to go
the direction that, you can't stay in the deconstruction world forever, I don't think.
But since they were musicians, one of the guys used to say, watch, I can create a church song here. And he created 5 church songs, praise and worship songs. And he did it in 15 minutes.
They were catchy.
And they were church bangers. One of them, they actually, "Rain on Me" or something like that. He made it into a video Toby did from Emory. You could probably look it up on YouTube and find it. But yeah, and he's like, it's just simple formula. You do this, this, and this. The chords are this. And that's all AI is doing when they're creating these songs. They're like, this is what chords are being used.
It's a formula. It's easy. It's something you can follow,
It's like pop music tends to be very much in a pattern. Follow these chords. These are the beats. And you just put a different instrument to it or a little different sound, but you have the same measure. I don't know. I'm not a music guy, so I don't know what I'm saying. But it catches on to the human ear. So AI is picking up on those patterns and, we can do this too. And then you hear the songs, it's like, some of them are kind of catchy, but you know why they're catchy. They're just following human pattern. So they do that with writing. Writing, I think, is probably one of the more obvious ones too, where you see something that's written by AI and it just doesn't flow right? When they're trying to write a story or a script or something like that. Even the new the first ones were just off the wall. People would do it, and there was YouTube things on these AI scripts for my videos.
And the scripts now, I think it's easier for, you can notice because it's very rhythmic almost. There's there's definitely a rhythm to it, and prose doesn't usually have that.
No.
It's kind of, there's something that you can kind of tell.
It's authenticity in it because you can sense, and deep inside you, I think you can sense the copycat. It's like, this is just this regurgitated again. They're trying to copy this other person's ideas and they're not doing it well. And it just doesn't flow right. It doesn't sound, it's clunky, or there's just something unhuman about it.
Yeah, there's something sometimes you can't put your finger on it, but it just feels.
It doesn't relate with the emotional, especially I think in that area.
Well,
it
can't
content.
do that either. It can be used for certain basic things, but you wouldn't want to write a blog or a book.
Yeah.
Are people doing that? Probably.
Some people, I think that's one of the biggest strike that just happened a year or two ago in Hollywood was that Hollywood's like, we'll just have AI write all our scripts. So
getting rid of the writers.
We're not going to have writers anymore. And then everyone went on strike because it would have turned out just mass-produced garbage.
Yeah.
It would have been adequate, but
at first, but it's going to get worse too as it starts to.
Yeah.
It doesn't have inspiration.
Yeah.
There's no inspiration, which humans get inspired from something somewhere. They get an idea, right? It can't do that. It's got to be it's got to be the patterns. It can come up with something new based on the patterns that it's seeing maybe, but I don't know. I just feel like it would not get better unless there's somebody programming it with something fresh.
I think that's because a lot of people have fear of AI is going to take over everything. And then the one thing that, and I'm no expert, but I kind of hang my hopes on is that AI can't produce something new. Right?
Yeah. It definitely can't be authentic. There's no,
because
it's unable to do that.
Based on the information it's got put into itself.
Yeah.
So it's copying what has been produced already. And like you were saying, the human ingenuity and the emotion and everything else that gets inspired, put into it, that's new. You know, you go to a movie and you see something, it's like, oh, okay, they really hit on that. All right, that's something different and new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where if you're watching AI, it's just going to be the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. I'm wondering if like AI would work for people, like say there's a subject you don't know much about. AI could give you the broad view. It could be okay until you get deeper into it and you're more interested in it. Then all of a sudden it falls short. You know, you need actual the human addition to it is going to make it as an experience deeper and richer and more rewarding to those that are that delve into that topic, whatever the topic is.
So you're seeing this, and I think some of the artists are starting to get a little creative. They're doing things a little
workaround.
Yeah. You know, oh man, hold on. I got to check something here. But yeah, because they're seeing that and they're getting upset that, you know, the creators are like, well, wait a minute. This isn't cool. This thing's
stealing their stuff and
taking all our ideas and everything else. And
there's some people that are just, you know, on social media or whatever, they just want to make money. They don't care about being authentic. You know, they don't care about bringing something and giving something to the world. They care about what can it get me? You know, can I make a buck off of it? Yeah.
And you're not getting original content or anything like that. So
what are you looking for? Are you ready?
I'm looking for it. I had a video on there and now it's gone. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted here, but
just pause.
No, we'll keep going.
On his first day as a
sorry, getting that in here. You're going to watch real live action happening here.
What are we doing?
So I'm looking at something here because I can't see all my videos, I don't think.
Is it a video? Is it the video or the music?
Oh, here we go. So, oh no.
You have some videos up there that look interesting to me, and
yeah, they are very interesting. But so when you're creating all this new stuff, and okay, it's showing it all, right?
I think. Well, I won't.
No, keep going.
No, I was gonna say like, this is not part of the topic probably, but something I've realized is like as humans, we need to create and not just consume. And what those at the top would like us to do is just to consume because we would continue to make them richer. You know what I'm saying? And so AI can put out more stuff for us to consume
and there's less
rather than
expense
creating
into it
what we could bring into the world. There's so much potential. You know?
Yeah, there's so much less expense into it then too, because you're not paying humans to do something. You're paying an AI. So you pay your fee for the month and then all of a sudden you can create 20 books or 50 scripts or whatever it may be.
And it's just garbage though. A lot of it's just garbage, you know. It's not meant to do that job. It's not, it's a computer that is programmed a certain way. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to like stall time because you're
doing good. You're doing good.
Just let's start something.
So some artists they're fighting back on this. And for some reason I just got inundated with this new artist. And it's an interesting thing. And I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to show you all at the same time as we reveal it. But they're creating something new and something different because this is something AI can't do. They can't go out of the program or what's already been created. So when humans start creating something new, it's foreign to AI and they can't replicate it.
Yeah, AI will have to follow the rules.
Yeah, they can't
see
the pattern.
And humans can go around the rules.
So this is one example that I just came across here recently of humans fighting back against AI.
Why is everyone talking about
Angine de poitrine?
Angine de poitrine. Angine de poitrine.
Quickly, Angine de Poitrine is a duo from Saguenay, Quebec. They describe their sound as microtonal, data, pitago, cubist, orchestral rock, really rolls off the tongue. Their identities remain hidden behind these polka dot costumes. They claim to be 333 years old and from another planet. They also...
Okay, so
Maybe they are.
maybe they are. So you're seeing that, okay, this is some human inspiration and ingenuity that's going against the norm. And we've seen this throughout time, in art and all that. But these guys have created their own new identity and whatnot, and they're going to create a new sound. So we'll continue on here.
So don't speak our language, at least. As a band, they've been going for a few years now, but they were really launched into mainstream consciousness more recently when their KXP session dropped. Since then, there have been all sorts of videos and think pieces unpacking why Angine de Poitrine has broken through so suddenly and successfully. And I think there are really two main reasons. First, they're talented. I think when artists break through with any sort of visual distinction, cue the polka dots, there's a tendency to ignore the importance of the music in that breakthrough. Angine de Poitrine just released a fantastic record, and I spoke to a promoter who booked one of their gigs on their upcoming sold-out tour before they blew up. She had never seen their getup and booked them on sound alone. The second reason I think Angine de Poitrine was so primed for a breakthrough right now is in the face of mounting unregulated AI music slop, people are increasingly gravitating towards weirdness. Why? Because quirkiness and weirdness are inherently human.
Okay, so before we continue on here, let's talk about that a little bit. I think that's one of the beauties of being human is...
Our uniqueness.
Yeah, and just embracing weirdness. And it's shown throughout art. And honestly, some modern art just isn't for me. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but it has its purpose. It's what drives a conversation or gets something going on.
Well, you don't understand the banana taped to the wall?
Yeah, other than the fact that it was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
That someone's paid $1 million with. So you see something like these guys, Angine de Poitrine or whatever, I can't say it right. But Banksy was another one where he would do his street art and whatnot. And then people were like, oh, we want to. So it's like a rebellion against the mainstream on what's going on. So he became this famous artist, Banksy. And I remember one of his they were selling one of his paintings in a frame. And I think he gave it to him. It's like, oh, yeah, you want to sell something here? And people were clamoring over buying it. They can actually own a Banksy. So once the gavel slapped, and he must have been in the crowd or something somewhere, he hit a button, and there was a shredder in the bottom of it, and it started shredding the paint in. People were like, what is going on? He's like, hey, this is art, I thought that was kind of cool and interesting on how he did that. But people want to embrace the weirdness, especially people finding themselves or whatever, because it's something different and it's something new and it's something that, I can be the leading edge of something different. But it's just weird too. And I think we all kind of like, one way or another, something different.
Well, yeah. I mean, think if you were standing in a field of white flowers, right? There's just white flowers everywhere. And then there's a red flower. What are you drawn to? You're going to look at that red flower. You're going to go over to it. We are drawn to something that's different. Even though we try to fit in and blend, it's actually our uniqueness that makes us be interesting, actually. It makes us interesting. So, and it's also during, as I hate to say it, but it's during hard times that art gets sparked to life. It explodes in ways. It takes a new turn because that's our way of expressing ourselves. And, without this is our way of pushing back against the system, basically. Oh, yeah. That's trying to oppress.
And you go back in with music, and I think we've talked about this in one of our earlier, it was like episode 5 or 6, where we were talking about music and our influence on it. But you look at different things like you have the Vietnam era music, or even go back further as civil rights. There's a bunch of music coming through there. And then the counterculture with the hippies and all that, where in civil rights, you had a lot of just fighting for the people and getting equal rights coming out in music. And I can't think of any songs right now fan, but then you have the counterculture, which kind of blends into that too, where you have things like Grateful Dead and all that were experimenting in drug culture. And
so do you think like the music changes, and a lot of times it's due to not always the religion, but the religion is so closely tied to the political system in our world.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think as they're putting out their stuff, then the music is a response to that? Or do you think the music starts it and then the church or the politicians respond to you see what I'm saying?
I think the music is a response to what's going on. So like in the counterculture, they were going against the establishment. And
you don't think the music came first and then the establishment started to push back?
No, the music was kind of what developed out of the counterculture movement.
Mm-hmm.
So you had these, free love fest and all that during the counterculture stuff. In the Vietnam War, the music came out as a protest to the war.
It's probably constantly a back and forth kind of like then they retaliate with something, Well,
they have nothing really to retaliate in kind. They just do it with policy and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And then the music responds to it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
To get more to what we can associate with us being Gen Xers would be the 90s, but you missed out on it. But the angsty grunge rock era,
mm-hmm.
where it was a lot, you think about some of the songs that we listen to now from that time, and you're like, whoa, okay, there's some spiritual connotation to it. That's deeply emotional, and it's expressing some love lost or regret or angst or whatever it may be against, whatever it may be, just powers that are controlling you and everything else. It wasn't really necessarily against the government as much. You go Rage Against the Machine was more against that. But you get Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. It's more just an angsty rebellion against authority.
Anything that's trying to oppress or control people being who they are.
Yeah, so it's kind of a response to it. Then the kids and the people associate with that sound. They're like, yeah, that's talking about what I'm going through now.
It's typically younger generations, obviously, that change the music. Like, our generation comes in and changes it, and then the next generation comes in. And it's like the freshness of youth is the reminder that, hey, you don't have to buckle to these systems. But then as people tend to get older, then they start to just give into the system and just be like, this is just how it is, and you just got to do it. And then there's some of us who are like, no, you still don't, as we get older, but it's fewer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the pushback comes from the youth a lot of times, because they see it and then they become hardened and have to they give into it a lot of times because. And
you see that, and we're talking mainly music here, but you see it in all different forms of art, in books or poetry or anything like that. You see that coming through there too. You have just different authors or something that blow up at certain times because they're relating to the people. Mm-hmm. Again, this is something AI can't do. It can try to mimic it, and it might be able to see, okay, there's this going on in patterns. Let's react to this. But it's not going to have an authentic reaction because it has to have the emotional relation to it.
Which is what, it's not going to have the energy behind it that the emotion would give, right? Yeah. And I think our subconscious can pick up on it. Like it feels empty. It feels something's off. We don't know what it is, but our subconscious picks it up. Like there's no energy that I can't match this because it's kind of flat.
Yeah.
So I bet you there is, if they haven't done studies, they'll eventually discover that it is something subconscious.
A little brief tangent here, though. The Charlie Kirk song. It's funny because AI picked that up and people responded to that. But that was a Christian type praise and worship song.
Is it on here? Like, could we play it a little bit? I heard it was kind of catchy. I remember hearing it, and I was like, it does sound like a Christian.
Yeah, it was kind of like what you'd hear on K-Love or something like that, which I think says a lot to the Christian music that gets put out. It's this manufactured.
It's something that's probably it's like eating junk food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes all right. Like that feels comforting, or that feels recognizable, right? But it's not there's no depth to it, which is a lot of Christian stuff. There's just no depth. It's very shallow, surfacey.
The depth is in their appreciation and adoration of God.
Yeah, but it's not even really deep. It's like it's for this imaginary thing outside of.
It's forced and contrived.
Yeah.
And it's trying to stir up something in people. And it's trying to relate to base emotions of guilt, shame, worship, adoration.
Other music does play on your emotions, but there's some lived experience, and that it's not all religious music. There is some religious, like you think of the song, some of the hymns, like "It Is Well With My Soul." That came out of a very dark story, right? That person was living something, but a lot of the stuff that Hillsong, those kinds of songs, it's just a formula. They're just cranking them out to get you to praise God, blah, blah, blah. You'll think of Jesus as you sing this. And the emotion is just what you already have in you for that being, right? It just stirs that up.
Yeah. So, and AI can reproduce that stuff, but it can't reproduce Pearl Jam or Tool or Nirvana or anything. It could try, but you're not going to get the same feeling out of it because it's not lived.
It's the difference between like Pearl Jam and then thinking of a little kid's song like, you know what I'm saying? Like your little kids.
To when
ABCs, that kind of songs.
When we were first married and you didn't appreciate the music I was listening to because it was so ungodly, right? Yeah. And you were trying to, hey, you need to, and I was like, yeah, I got to. And then we'd go to Family Christian Bookstore or Maranatha. And we go to their CD section. That dates us. But they have the list. If you like Nirvana, you may like, and it'd be like Jars of Clay.
Barnes & Noble, I think they did that.
Well, I remember the Christian bookstore doing that too.
Oh, the Christian bookstore did that. I think Barnes & Noble had sections for it too.
So then you put on the headphones and listen to it, and I'd be like, this sounds, it's alternative rock from the 90s. But
it's a similar sound, but they're just mimicking what they can pick up. But it's still not the words.
You listen to Black by Pearl Jam, and you could feel the heartbreak in Eddie Vedder when he's singing it. And the music behind it, the instrumental behind it just builds into that. You feel on
and it resonates with the humanness that he's expressing that connects with, what it feels like to have something and lose it or, like it resonates in some way.
You hear songs by Tool and you feel the anger or the angst or the spirituality that's coming through it and the questioning. And you can relate to it because it's a human emotion coming through on that. And you don't get that. And I never really got that a lot. I did get some emotional stirring up from Christian music, but it was just in this one pocket and corner. It wasn't touching the whole spectrum.
And it wasn't really, it's different. It's not lived experience. It's just your idea of this person.
Yeah.
It's the idea that you are garbage and he rescued. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all based on these ideas and not really what you've actually experienced. And I think there's a big difference there.
And I think honestly, this just came to just the manipulation part of what church does. I think the music's playing into that too. So it's trying to manipulate these certain emotions of guilt and shame.
Well, they do use those to get those emotions. Yeah.
Whereas secular music is like, okay, we're going to go and we're going to focus on love, or we're going to focus on anger.
You're thinking alternative, the type you like, yes, but pop music, like some of your pop music that's just for masses, is very similar.
Yeah.
To Christian. It's just like,
got that beat.
It's catchy, and it doesn't create. It's not. It's surface level art, right? Yeah. It's not deep stuff, which, you do need that stuff too, just because that can pull some people into it.
People listen to that, just kind of lift their moods or something like that. But I think most people will relate to some of the deeper stuff that they listen to that have some meaning and soul and emotion.
Well, especially once, like I said, like at the beginning, it can, it's the same as AI. Like it can hit the surface stuff. It can pull you into the world, but the more you get a taste for it, you want something a little more complicated. Yeah. Just like when you're little and you're eating macaroni and cheese. Yeah. Eventually, you don't want Kraft macaroni and cheese. You need a little more complicated taste because it gets boring. It's dull. And so I think it's good for surface level stuff. Yeah. But if you're going to go deep with anything, you need that human connection behind it. And Christianity stays very surface because it doesn't allow for that depth because you have these parameters. You can only go this far with the music. It's got to sing about Jesus.
Well, I think, and we're sticking in music, I think is a good example, but this applies to all the arts. But if you need something in the background while you're doing something, the pop music's what you listen to.
Yeah. Or you're driving.
Or the Christian music's what you listen
yeah.
to. Because you're not really listening. You're just kind of, the beat's going through you and you're just moving to the beat. But when you're feeling something, you're feeling down, you're feeling up, you're
processing grief,
angry or whatever.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, all you have certain music that you're going to go to, or certain write-ins you're going to go to, or certain movies you're going to want to watch, because they're going to touch into that emotion and relate and associate with you. You know, I think about in the locker rooms, we always had pump up music. There was stuff that was specific that we'd listen to, because
that would evoke the emotion of confidence and
get the
strength and
blood
power
flowing and all that moving through you. You're ready to run through a brick wall after listening to a few songs, especially when the whole group of guys that you're in with are starting to get pumped and going. And
that's just the energy it's creating. And it's.
But the music's building that up because of what's in it. So, anyways, weirdness. Weirdness. Humans want to associate with weirdness and different because it clicks with the brain for some reason.
It gets more sophisticated, intentionally making it harder to discern between art that is and isn't human-made. People find immediate comfort and resonance in art that is undeniably human. Time signatures that jump all over the map in the way that algorithms could never. Visuals that are mesmerizing. This isn't to suggest that artists need papier-mâché masks to break through, but to the gatekeepers and naysayers lamenting these indie breakthroughs, I'm getting geese flashbacks right now. Successes like this are good for music lovers at large. Whether it's a New York frontman's wavering falsetto or a mysterious masked math rock duo, breakthroughs like this are a promising indication of the public appetite for art that is imperfect, weird, and undeniably human. Why is everyone...
So I think that kind of sums it up. You know, she kind of hit something there too. It's like we want something that's, you know, when you're smothered in this slop, AI slop, so you can probably go on and you're going to hear all this AI music that's being put out and you're not going to be able to get away with it. And it's going to be charts. When you hear something that's authentically human and different, you're going to be like, okay. All right. And you're going to associate with that more because, like you said, it's that red flower in the field of white flowers.
And she said something interesting, too, when she's talking about we want imperfect. And that is kind of true because we are imperfect. And, like, we're starting to, I think, another good, if you will, that can come out of all this stuff is, first of all, we've been bombarded for decades with this. The aesthetic is like everything's perfect in a home. Let's think of a home. It's like this beige look, you know, everything's just in its place. And there is, yes, I like things put away. I like things, but I also like a house that looks like it's lived in, right? I like colors. And I think as a society, this is kind of steering us back towards some of that stuff. Not the gaudy, you know, but like, things that were interesting to look at, not just plain, you know, you see even like, I think it's the McDonald's and stuff that are being put up or these restaurants. It's all like beige, because if the restaurant doesn't do well and you got to pull it out, anything else can go in there, right? It's not, it doesn't have the arches on the building and, you know, so it's like trying to make mass, it's what these people of great wealth that are just pushing for capitalism like crazy. Which there's a place for capitalism, but I'm talking about this, you know, greed. So it's like, oh, we can mass produce here. And now there's this push like, oh, I want something different. I want something that's handmade. I want something that there's some meaning to it. And it's not just mass produced in a, you know.
Yeah. I think, and that's
factory.
kind of, I think we've been conditioned here over the last 10, 20 years to get into this blah lifestyle.
To think that's where beauty is.
Everything's beige, like you're saying with the McDonald's. Okay, we're going to make these buildings so that if this building closes, then we can throw a Taco Bell in there pretty easy. We just got to change the sign here, do this and here, and rearrange the kitchen a little bit. Boom, Taco Bell, or whatever. Whereas you can drive through your towns now and you can probably drive around and be like, oh, that used to be a Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Because you have the big red
Because it had
roof,
the certain
Or,
features.
oh, that used to be a Taco Bell because it had that Southwestern flair to it and the big bell and all that. So you're like, oh, I could tell what that building used to, and people would be like, oh, yeah, go to my insurance agent. He's in the old Taco Bell building down south, or something like that. Now you can't tell. If you were to strip off the McDonald's, the Taco Bell, the Burger King, whatever restaurant it was,
you wouldn't know what
you wouldn't be able to
restaurant
tell
or
what
if
was in
even
there before.
Yeah, and another thing you see it in, speaking of like architecture, you see it in the new houses that are built.
Yeah.
It's like they have like 3 plans or whatever. You pick one of them, you know, but you go into an older neighborhood and the styles are different. You got this house next to a house that's completely different next to it, so it's like, obviously we understand.
Yeah, but that, I think the key there, that's in the middle class neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You get into rich neighborhoods and it's unique.
Yes. Yeah.
Wherever you go. Middle class, okay, 3 options.
Yeah,
Here's
they're
what you
trying to get here. We're trying to make mass amounts for you guys to give you a sense of
individuality and all that.
And then, and it's
So
yeah,
you drive into the suburbs of any town, you're going to go down and be like, these houses all look the same. They're all cookie cutter. That's middle class people. And then you go, well, these houses are all different and extravagant, rich neighborhoods.
It's usually like the older rich neighborhoods.
Then you get in here, these are all beaten down. That's the old neighborhoods that got moved in by the poor people because the value dropped in that area for whatever reason. I think a lot with music and stuff too is, you were talking about perfection. Well, I think that's the beauty of a concert. You go to a concert because it's an imperfect performance. It's not going to sound as good and as sharp and as clean as it does on your CD or your digital
Spotify
device
or whatever,
because that was overproduced and many times practiced and done. Got the best track, produced it, engineered it, put it in perfect. Then you play it live, and it's like, oh, but people, you go to a concert, you can appreciate it because, oh, they are making some mistakes, and it's live. The voice isn't as crisp. Sound, the music's a little too loud compared to the voice or whatever.
But the energy is so different, because you're with people.
But people buy tickets to concerts all the time because they want that lived experience with a group of people and experience the imperfections. And you get in music even more, how much has happened that auto-tune came up here? So someone like me, well, okay, we like kind of the tone of your voice, so we're going to make you into a music star and we'll just auto-tune you. Now you're all of a sudden you're perfect, and you're singing.
You don't sound like you actually do.
But you can hear that in the song because it was that mechanical voice. It wasn't the actual voice of the person. You hear someone sing out of the real voice, no matter what it sounded like. You can be like, okay, that's human voice. It's not the best, but they do well with what they're doing. Then you hear someone else that's been auto-tuned. It's like, okay, that's a little too perfect for what they're doing. And you can hear the tinniness or clanginess, mechanicalism of it. So I think we've been conditioned over time here to
think that's normal.
We're going for the perfect and the consistent
and perfect
and cookie cutter.
Yeah. And the idea of perfect is just this no mistakes to it, no flaws to it, nothing that and that's just not, first of all, it's not healthy. You don't want to be perfect. Perfect means you've reached the end of the thing. You already mastered it all the way. You don't need it anymore. You need to move past it. But like the joy in learning an art form is the practicing of it and the perfecting as you go. It's this practice. You're getting better. You're progressing, but you're not perfect. I don't know. Perfect has grown to mean without any flaws, but I don't think it used to mean that. It just meant a maturing. You're perfecting something, meaning you're getting better at it, but not this end goal, this very linear thing. Now you've reached perfection. Yeah. And it's only perfection because we've been told that's perfection. Yeah.
Yeah. You're told this, but I think it's being done this way because then if everything's uniform and cookie cutter,
you can produce it.
Now we can produce it and we can make more money off it.
It's all about money.
So, okay, this person's look's not great anymore. People aren't vibing with it. We can make the same sound, same similar thing, put this new look that seems to be popular now, and we plug this girl or guy in.
Yeah.
And boom, we're doing the same thing over again.
Yep.
And now it's mass produced. So you think about some of these pop music stars or whatever that come through, and you'd be like, okay, these were groomed to fit into these roles and fill
And you have to be in a certain
place.
age too. You age out of that. Yeah.
And you're put into that, and it's like, okay, I see what's happening here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of this thing. And I think bands like Engine de Portine are going to be crucial here in competing against the AI. It's going to be a different sound. It's not a bad sound. It's kind of catchy, but it's new time
different.
signatures.
It's new to our
new
ears.
things. It's math rock, and Tool's math rock too. They did a song, Parabola, that is the Fibonacci sequence spiraling out.
Yeah.
So they use math formulas to build their music and stuff.
Wow.
Which is different. And how's a computer going to recreate something like that or get that idea? They're not. These guys, they took their time signatures, broke them down into different patterns, weave in and out, and what AI wants to do is say, okay, this is the beat we're doing throughout the whole song. We're going to keep it here. Maybe during the chorus or refrain or whatever you call it. Again, I'm not a music guy. We change it a little bit and then bring it back to the beat of the main part of the song, then change it here again. And that's the pattern. Well, these guys are doing that throughout the song. So AI is going to look at that and be like, there's no pattern here. What's going on? It's in this song, they change it at, a minute 30, but this song, they're changing it at 45 seconds. This song, they're changing it here and then changing back, then going to something different and they come in here. It can't be reproduced. And I think that's the key thing. And people are going to gravitate to that more because it's going to be something different in a world that's going to be continually pushed out all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the people at top are going to be like, we don't care. We're mass producing all this stuff. So if we sell so many units on this guy and so many on this guy and so many on this guy, we're still making all that money off of it. So we can just keep mass producing this stuff. It's fine. We're going to get all the money we need out of it. And these guys over here are going to do real successful because they're just being different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to encourage more
people. And they're
going to
get true, genuine people listening to them that actually like what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, this is just convenient and, and they're the people that do follow them. They may not have as many, but they will be loyal to them, because they're like, you're producing something that actually is different, unique, and I actually like it.
I'm 30 years old.
So yeah, it's a whole different.
Yeah.
And art is the thing that makes us human. I think it's the way we stand out is art.
Yeah.
And so I like at the beginning when you quoted art for AI, it isn't really art. It's just regurgitation of stuff that humans have made.
It would be like, if I was like, okay, I'm going to go paint the Mona Lisa, and I just put it up there and I just copied it.
You just traced it.
Yeah.
And that's how you learn something.
Yeah. Because
you do mimic at first. Like, when I was a little kid, I would draw, I would use tracing paper.
Yeah.
And then eventually I started to draw the things myself, but it's a place to start. It's a starting point, but that's all it is. Yeah. It's not a landing point. AI is not where you end.
Yeah. You got to find your own individuality, your own uniqueness, and express that through that. So in saying that, we got this change going on in this fight against AI because that's a big thing coming out here, and people are legitimately scared of what AI is going to actually do because it's been released unrestricted. But another area that kind of gets into that is the social media area. And this is a horrible transition into this next part of the show, but we'll force it in there.
It's human. It's imperfect.
We're not AI because we're doing this. But I think social media has had a huge influence on people. And
you think?
Very much so. And just how we react in society in general now. And we'll go ahead and click on this video. And it's one you found and shared with me. So we'll click on that and see what we get here. I'm just going to...
Not one of my friends has children. Zero. No one. No one's having kids. Do you know how hard you need to abuse a mammal to make them not have children? Like, look, GDP goes up. People have have enough food, and whatever. No one's having kids, and this is across the world. This is across both the West, the East, everywhere it's happening. So why do I not have kids? And the answer to that is I don't really know. This is the weird thing. So there's a thing that happens, especially with even younger than me. Like the kids are 18 today. There's a huge problem where they don't dance. No one dances. They go to clubs and they don't dance. Why is this? Because you get recorded.
Yeah.
If you're an 18-year-old kid, you go to a club, you get recorded. If you approach a girl and you mess it up, you get recorded. Everything is panopticon now. So if you had to ask me why, my answer is technology. My answer is social media. My answer is AI. My answer is algorithms.
Right.
I think there's a deep thing where we as a society have not dealt with the fact that we have to steward technology responsibly. We have treated technology as a Wild West.
Absolutely.
Just everyone can do whatever they want. Just sell all of our younger generation's dating lives to corporations for profit. And who pays the cost for this? Who has liability here? Look, I'm 30 years old.
Okay, so there's a lot in that. So I think he has a point that I never even thought about that he brought up there about the whole dating and reproduction. Our kids, it's been a concern of yours because back when we were young, it was like, oh, you got to be dating in high school and hell, grade school, It was always, oh, do you have a boyfriend in 4th grade? Oh, that's so cute. And it was really pushed upon us. This was our goals in life. Get done with school, get married, go to college, get married, have a job, have a family, have kids, die. But, I mean, in a nutshell, that's pretty much what was programmed into us.
Life was about, yeah.
So we did that. We dated through grade school, high school, met each other in college. You were still in high school.
Senior year.
She was 18 when we dated.
And you were in your freshman college year.
So, but our kids are following that same path. They've been on a couple dates here and there, but that's for the whole group of them.
They're not planning to. None of them want to get married young.
Yeah.
They want to explore life.
Yeah.
They're not. A lot of them not planning on having children.
So it's been a worry that we've had of what's going on, and it's been some of us both talking each other off the edge a little bit of.
Is this normal?
Yeah. What's wrong with our kids? Because there's still people we know that their kids are out doing what we did. Mm-hmm. And then our kids aren't. And it's like, well, no.
But then we know a lot of people who aren't, too. And
let's
it's
look
like,
at kids in general, and let's look at our nieces and nephews. They're getting married at 30, 31, 32. They're having kids at
we're getting
33,
older
34, 35. We were done having kids at 34.
Yeah. 33 for me. It was that was it.
Yeah.
Done.
So that was it. It was done. We're over. That's when these kids are starting to get married and starting to have kids now. So when we looked at it that way, it's like, okay, this is more of a societal thing. Yeah, it's dividing, but it's moving towards this older thing, which I think in general is a good thing, because then we have regrets looking back of we didn't get a chance to find ourselves because we were married before we could even explore our adulthood at all.
And more even than a married was we just started having babies.
Yeah. Yeah, we were parents, and you were 22 and I was 24. We just turned 24 when our first was born.
Yeah.
And
we'd already been married a couple years.
We had so much life experience to experience yet that we hadn't.
We weren't grown up. We weren't matured. We weren't.
Yeah, we didn't know
what we were doing.
Yeah.
We weren't financially stable. We weren't, we were just doing what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
According to the systems that we were in.
So I think that's starting to go away a little bit while looking at the trend of what's happening here. And I think he addressed a very important part of that trend, social media. It's tough. I remember going up and asking a girl at a dance, hey, will you dance with me? No. And then they go laugh at their friends. And you have that embarrassment.
If that was recorded,
hopefully the only people that saw it were your group of buddies sitting back there, and then they give you a bunch of shit for 10 minutes and then you move on.
Yeah.
Now it's on a phone. And now it's posted on your social media, as everyone else's social media. So then everyone in the school
sometimes it goes viral.
Yeah. Sees you go down in flames. And
which is just, these are just parts of being human. Yeah. But we're so trained to think, you got to be perfect at it. You got to do it right the first time. You can't. So it's like, and we're even told things like, don't try, do. No, you got to try. Try things. You're going to make mistakes, and you're going to, and a mistake doesn't mean like a failure. In our heads, it is.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like.
It's a learning lesson.
Well, like I've said to people before, like if a baby that's born and starts to walk, if you put them down on the ground and they instantly start walking, and they're very good at it, you know how freaked out everybody would be? That'd be so creepy.
Yeah.
Instead, they're supposed to fall, get back up. They just kind of stand there and bob, kind of learning how to. They wouldn't be doing that if perfection was, but perfection would be weird.
Oh, yeah.
Not in a good way. That would be very strange.
Yeah.
And they're we're okay with babies doing that. But then when we grow up, we think when we try something new or we're putting ourselves out there that we should be just amazing at it. So we don't try a lot of things because we're so scared because we know we won't be good at it at first, and that's, you're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be. That's the part of learning that's just inherent in learning something is there's mistakes at the beginning. So I think it just keeps people from actually living their life. And maybe even it is affecting our children. Maybe there are some of those things like at play, like, well, I don't want that to be recorded. I don't want everybody to see me making that mistake. Instead.
Well, I think I mentioned this the other day. Okay. So there's the old trope for boys in high school when they go to the school dance, when they dance and they're leaned way back, their head and face are up next to the girl, but their
body part
body is way
pulled
back
away,
because they're rocking one, right? Imagine having that on film now.
Oh my God, yeah.
And the old Woods pointing out of the pants, and people are filming that.
Well, and
posting it.
In our kids' school, a lot of times, there are times they can't have their phones out, but there are times they get their phones in class, and there's all sorts of things that could happen, and people videotape it. That's dating me, but it's just.
So the world's so different for them now.
Yeah.
I can't imagine going through high school being recorded with half the shit that I was doing or had happened to me in high school.
So it's either stopping the habits, or it's shaming somebody when they do something and they're not. They don't ace it the first time or whatever. So that's hard. That's a whole different thing that we've not experienced.
Yeah. So you don't get that experience that we had back then. And they're very cautious, I think, and very leery of putting themselves out because what's going to happen if someone sees this? It's not just me or them that's going to see it. They probably got their phone out. And we soak up that content constantly. Oh, that's funny. I remember when that happened to me, as we see it. But then the other kids are like, oh, look what happened to Joe.
Well, you know how mean kids could be, and that's great. They're still learning the social cues. They're still learning, how to be in the world. And they pick up from their parents some things. So you got some kids that are real mean, and you got some kids that are more understanding. And that depends on parental or, the environment they're in, I guess.
Yeah. So you have that they're dealing with here. And then just, what else did he say in there? I'm trying to think here.
Well, one thing I noticed that he said, he's like, how much do you have to abuse an animal?
Oh, for them not to reproduce.
For them not to reproduce. Yeah, because that should be a biological function that you want to do, right?
Yeah.
It should be something, you want to reproduce, but they don't.
Yeah, and you hear stories now all the time of these dolls getting made that people are marrying.
Oh, yeah, that's that's crazy.
But it's safe.
Yeah. It helps them take care of that biological need without the messiness of a relationship. It's the same thing that you see in people in relationships, though, even today. Like, they don't want to go through. I was talking to somebody about a long-term relationship. I was like, it's not simple. You do not have a long-term relationship without a lot of messy stuff.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to work through things with each other. You can't just expect like a guy to come into a relationship and be like this perfect guy. Yeah. He's all got it. He knows when you're upset. He knows, what to do when you're upset. He knows how to talk to you. He never says the wrong thing. You can't have a woman that, she's always looking beautiful. You never see her, upset. You never see her pissed off. You never, she just always just sweet, like Stepford kind of wives. That's creepy.
Yeah.
It's messy. You're going to see the real people. And that's how you grow as humans. And in a relationship, you got to learn how to work through those things, not bail because somebody does something one time or even 10 times. You learn how to work through those things. But
how much of that was Christian relationships?
that's what they expect. They expect you to follow this
They expect
set
the
of
woman
rules.
to be the Stepford wife,
and so it becomes
submissive
very
and docile.
superficial. They want superficial. They don't want depth. And depth requires being able to look at the messy, being vulnerable, being able to sit with messy and sit with vulnerability and not run away from it and be brave enough to sit there with somebody else through it. And it's the same with art. Art looks messy as you're making it because, you know, as this art thing I'm going through where I'm going to be teaching it, it's done in layers. Art happens in layers. It's like this first layer, that's not the end. You know, you're going to put another layer on it. And you're going to put another layer on it. It's going to keep changing. That's like what life is like. You're just layering over what you're taking your past shaped you a little bit. There's no way around it. It's done something to you. And so now as you build this new part of your life, it's shaped by that part of your life. So it looks very unique and different and pieces pop through that make your experience different from my experience, you know? Yeah. So there's just such beauty in that AI can never touch. It just can't touch it. And social media does the same things. It gives a snippet of someone's life, no depth. Yeah. And it caused this. I remember at one time, like long ago when Facebook came out, people showing all their beautiful homes or their vacations, things we couldn't do, and just feeling this sense of like,
my favorite
left out. Or
you see the anniversary post or the birthday post, and it's like, oh, this person's such a lovely, they're my best, they're my one and only, and this. And we're like, you were just bitching to me about how bad your relationship was.
Yeah. Like yesterday. That's not even true. And it's like, what's funny about those is, okay, so we have a very healthy relationship, but we've worked hard to get here. It didn't happen by osmosis. I'm not going to go on Facebook and then say, oh, he's just the greatest, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm going to say it right to your face. Yeah. I don't need to post it on Facebook. If I do it on Facebook, I mean, there can be a place for that, you know? But it's usually, you can do that to connect, I guess. But a lot of times people are doing it just to get the likes from them. I'm like, just say it if it's their birthday, or especially when it's a kid who's not even on there, like these little kids, it's not their birthday, and you're getting on Facebook. That's the only one I mean, it's happening on all of them, but Facebook is the one where I notice it the most.
Yeah, keep going.
Because that's like old fashioned, I guess. But you see the people post to their kid, like their 10-year-old that's not on Facebook. Like, what are you doing? Why are you posting this? You know, and it's always seemed weird to me to do that. I know there's a place for it, and I know I'm making a judgment about it, but I've always found it kind of, I don't know, disingenuous. I don't know what it is. It bugs me sometimes, and I'm just like, oh.
Okay.
And I've even probably done it before, honestly, too. And I just stopped posting anything about the kid. They're never on there, so.
Facebook that was where it really kicked off originally.
Yeah.
And it just the falseness, because if you knew the people that were posting, knew what was in their life. So many times I remember you'd be like, did you see that post? I'd be like, huh? And then you'd show it to me. I'd be like, aren't they in a bad spot right now?
Yeah,
you know,
like you wouldn't know it.
They post a perfect fan. Oh, this kid's doing so great. Blah, blah. And it's like, didn't they just call us and say he was flunking half his classes?
Yeah.
You know,
so sometimes it's funny to just post things like our niece Sophie. She'll post things so funny because she used Facebook when she was younger.
Yeah.
And now she's, 30s. She would post things like going out or whatever. And now she'll post that and she'll go, I wasn't going anywhere. Like she'll just make fun of it. And those are hilarious, because they're real. And, it's stuff like that I find, or people showing their house messy instead of always perfect looking, and not just posting all the wonderful things. Post those, fine. Post the, when your kid wins the trophy, but also post maybe when you're struggling to parent and the kid's doing something that wasn't so great, they mouth off to you or whatever. Like, let's be real. Yeah. That is a better social media experience, I think.
When you were talking about that, you stirred up something, and I found the video for it. This one was, I remember hearing this. It was a great one. If I can get my cursor, there it is. All right.
Tell you this. I recently lost a friend on Facebook and also in real life. I lost him because of this social media interaction. My friend posted the following. Happy birthday to the most amazing, unique, funny, and creative six-year-old son a man could ever ask for. Daddy loves you so much. Happy birthday, Timmy. So I went on and commented on that, hey man, why didn't you tag Timmy in your status? And he replied to that, because he's 6, he doesn't have a Facebook account. And so I replied to that, yeah, exactly. Stop that shit. You can't wish someone happy birthday on Facebook if they don't have an account. That means it's for you.
Yes.
And that's crazy. But we all just let it happen because of the disconnect of social media. Like 15 years ago, if you would have wanted that same perverse reinforcement from me, you know the weird behavior you had to go through to get it? You'd have literally had to call me on my telephone. Hey, Si, it's my son Tim's 6th birthday today. So I just wanted to say happy birthday, Tim. You light up every room you walk into. My days will never be dark now due to your presence, and I just love you so much, bud. Daddy loves you so much. Hugs and kisses. I love you. I love you, bud. All right, so is he on the other line then, or conference call situation? No, he's in his room playing with his toys by himself, but did I do good? Do you like me now? Did I do good?
See, that's so
God,
weird.
I'm so sad. Tell you
It's
this.
just so weird. Obviously, you can understand it if it's like someone who's not in your life, that this is the access you have to them. Hey, I want to wish them a happy birthday, because you want a bunch of people to wish them happy birthday. That I get that. But when they're not on there, and I've always been bothered by it. Then I did it a couple times with our kids. Like I would just post like, oh, look how cute, because I thought it was a cute picture, or they had a great achievement or whatever. And then I realized like, this is just so shallow and empty. And what am I doing? This is for my kid. I don't care if these other people see it. And if they do, when I started to realize it can create feelings in other people too, like, oh, my kid's not doing that. Like the jealousy feelings, because I felt those before.
Yeah, you're like,
then I was just like, I don't want to do this to other people. I just don't. Why?
Because there's a lot of times you'd be like, man, look how good they're doing. I'm like, hold on. You know they're not doing that good.
But, they want to present that way. Yeah.
But they're presenting that way. So I think, kind of put a bow on this one, I think we just got to see what's happening in our culture right now that's shifting and changing. I think it's a new, it's the new grunge scene. It's the new Vietnam era. It's the new counterculture. It's the new,
it's a response to what is happening. Yeah. And the response is there's some good. There's a lot of good that's coming up, right?
Which means
different.
There's going to be something big come out of this. And it's going to be our kids and this generation's now identity when they're older. Yeah. And they're going to have to explain to their kids why it was so great to listen to Antoine de Poitin, whatever it is, and Jean de Poitin, because it was this and it talked to me in this way. And your kids will be like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to listen to my synth pop rock for a while until something speaks to me. So
this is we're living. I mean, it happens over and over, but it's cyclical, right? And we're going through it's a big change. It will change the face of all forms of art.
It's forever. The culture fighting back. It's people fighting back against the man, in essence, and saying, hey, no, we're going to do things our way, and we're going to talk to these people, and we're going to get our message out and let that be known and be ready to deal with it. And it's going to cause turbulence, which is good. We need turbulence right now to get some things changed and looked at. And I think people are going to start seeing it, and they're either going to change or they'll be forced to change. Because it's going on and it's affecting everything else, like we saw with the kids not dating anymore, not going to dances, not having kids anymore. Why? Because they've been beaten down so much with this constant, they have to be on 24/7. And I think our kids and their friend groups that they're in right now are pretty good about, we be comfortable. There's no phones out. No one's recording anything all the time. I mean, you had friends that you'd get irritated because every time you look up, the phone would be in your face and they'd be doing Snapchats or whatever. You're like, just participate in life right now. Stop trying to do.
Let's just be here in this. I found myself doing that. I found myself when the kids were little, like looking at them through a camera lens because I wanted to, instead of just like, and so I had to train myself to not do that. You know, I wanted those memories in snapshots, but it's like, how often are you going to pull out those pictures? Really, you just want to feel those things in the moment and be in the moment. And I think that our kids in particular, yes, there's this culture push they're feeling too, but also I think they're okay with waiting. They're okay with, they're okay with,
they're enjoying their life.
And I think part of it is evolutionary, just slowing down the population a little bit. Like, and I know countries don't like that because they need little worker bees, but we're not also going to pressure our kids. Like if they don't want to, they don't want to, it's not something they are not required. Well, I saw a post that someone posted. It was a Christian post. And it said, like, the greatest thing you can do is love God, get married, stay married, have children. And it's just like, that's not the greatest thing you can do, but that is the message that was pushed at us, not just from Christianity. Society was kind of pushing that too. And now society's shifting. The church will have to shift because it always is behind, but it will follow. Is that is something, yes, I am glad I was a mother. I'm glad to be a mom. I'm glad I got married. I don't regret those things. Like they were part of my dreams, but they're not all of my dreams, and some people, that's not even a part of their dreams, and that's okay. No. They're not less than because of that. Yeah. And,
but I think
this
big
generation knows that.
And it goes with the church and it goes with the corporate world. It's not so much, they do need the worker bees, but remember when we were working in a grocery store and it was always, you have to do better than last year. You have to do better than last month. So annoying. The only way you can do that is if you increase the amount of people you can sell your product to. So they need worker bees, but they also need consumers. And if consumers start dropping and the population starts dropping, these guys are going to be like, what the hell's going on? All right, we need to, and they're going to be like, we need to get these people in camps and just start having them fuck because we need more kids out here to sell shit to. True.
I mean, and you think about how they mass make things like, I mean, I'll sometimes walk through a store and you like just Tupperware containers or not Tupperware, but your plastic containers for food. Those are in some factories making more of them right now. And still all these stores have them stacked all over the place. And then it's just like they want to keep making more because those are jobs, right? And then they have to keep selling it because they want to keep making more money than last year. So it's just this never ending bottomless pit. That's what consumerism will do. Like, yes, we do need some things. I like to have certain things, but there has to be a limit to those things. We have to start remembering that we're here to create, not just consume stuff.
So maybe, but these younger generations, they're subconsciously picking up on this.
Maybe.
And they're like, no, we're not fighting. We understand what's going on. They want consumers. They want workers. So we can make all the stuff that we're going to end up buying ourselves. So we can keep making them rich
and comfortable at the top.
They're paying us some money, and then we're paying them right back by buying all the shit that we're making for them to make them more money so then they can get better. Yeah. But we're just eating the shit that we're making. So
instead of going, hey, I think there's a better way of living.
To see it. Yeah. And you look at the capitalistic part of this where they're getting upset with the younger generation because they're not getting a job at 20 and they're keeping that job until they retire now. They're getting a job, they're learning it, they're mastering it.
Like, we got that skill down, let's move on. Yeah.
And they're doing something new. Great. But that drives the corporations nuts because now we don't have long-term employment.
We got to keep training.
We have to keep doing this. That's costing us money to retrain and retrain.
Well, they're just going to have to adjust. It's a new way of living. It's a new way of employment.
Nuts. So they're trying to keep forcing us in here, but this younger generation is just going against all their norms. Yeah. They're not working forever for us. They're not making more babies so that we can have more people to sell to and more people to work for us. They're not consuming everything that we're putting out. that mass producing shit that we're putting out. They're trying to find unique stuff, and they're finding the local markets or stuff like this.
So they're
to go
figuring
to.
out a way to reuse things in different unique ways instead of buying new, and
it's
they're
driving
making
them nuts.
more DIY. Yeah, it's just it's good in a lot of ways.
It's going to change a lot of things. So I think when we look at this stuff, fighting against the AI, understanding why kids aren't dating or reproducing like they used to, there's reasons for it. And I think the reasons are good. Mm-hmm. And it's moving us in a direction we need to go to, where we start working about and focusing on the thing that the church didn't want us to focus on. And that was self. The church's idea of self was that it was horrible, it was awful, it was evil, it had a propensity to sin. So never look at that. Just focus on Jesus. And if you do that and stop worrying about yourself,
Jesus we imagined for you and
everything
created.
will be poured into you that you need.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it from here. But stop looking at yourself. When people start looking at their self and where you're living examples of this, life gets so much more better and vibrant and beautiful, because we can do what we want within reason, without harming. But we can live the lives that we want to live and be unique. And people are drawn to that.
People are drawn to authenticity. We really are. That is something that AI can never replicate. It cannot replicate authenticity. So being authentic is the best way it's like a filter to filter out people who don't want the authentic you. They don't like you as you. They will go away because they won't, as long as you are authentic, and you'll pull in people who do like you for you. Instead of it being based on you being something you're not.
Yeah. So I guess the lesson learned today is be authentic. Explore it, find the weird.
And that's how you push back against a lot of the AI stuff. Yeah.
So if you're listening on YouTube,
was I supposed to go?
No. You're too late, because I would have bounced it back this way, and then we could play tennis with the YouTube slug. But if you're listening or watching on YouTube, give us a like, follow, and subscribe. Smash that like, pound that subscribe, and comment on how your smash and pound went. That didn't come out right.
No, it didn't.
But yeah, go do that for us. Helps us out greatly. Move us on there. If you're listening on a audio streamer, Spotify, Apple, go up to the top, hit that rating button, give us 5 stars. That moves us on there too. That's the biggest thing you can do to help us out on those platforms. And if you want to reach out to us or find out what we're doing, go down in the description. DannyCan.com's down there. That links into everything we got going on now. And there'll be new things popping in here soon, relatively soon. Candy's got all sorts of fires in the irons in the fire right now going on. So that'll all be updated here soon. New things, new unique things for you to do. So look for that down in the description, DannyCan.com. But other than that, go out, be unique, find yourself, find the humanness out there, connect with humanity.
By being yourself.
Learn
how to be yourself, and then watch what things change around you. Because the inner world is the outer world is just a reflection of the inner.
Yep.
So
you want to change the world, start with yourself.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.